Okay, so we have done the inner ring of the primaries, the secondaries, the intermediates. Hopefully you have done the second ring, or you're finishing it up. And that is the primaries, the secondaries, the intermediates, and what added to them? Black. Very good. They're tones or shades. All right, now we are going to do the last ring, the outer ring. And I realize yours is not cut out of paper yet. But this time we are going to add white to it, and that is called tints of a color. Okay? Make sure you have everything down out of your hands. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do my blue-green color here, and I'm going to go ahead and mix my color. I'm going to start with green because it is the lighter of the two colors, blue and green. And I'm going to mix up a decent amount of green, put it down on the tray. And remember what I talked about when you're doing this, that you want to keep it kind of condensed and in an area. All right, so I'm going to try and keep it in this little corner about the size of a, quarter maybe. All right, and I'm just doing this over and over until I get a rather thick paint. And I will tell you again, this is where people tend to make their colors a little too light. And so you want to make sure that you're mixing them pretty heavy, pretty thick. All right, so I'm going to mix here. Now, is that blue-green? Yeah, maybe a little more blue. We'll try a little more blue to convince us that it is a blue-green. That is. Now, the only problem I do think is that it's a little on the light side. So, I'm going to just mix up just a little more to make it thicker. All right, now, I've got a pretty decent amount. I think I can get by with this little rectangle with what I have, especially since now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add white to it. Now, unfortunately, you have to clean your paints, and you have to talk to your table partner and say, all right, I'm going to do blue-green. You want to do blue-green with me? And you're going to get along and say, you bet, let's do this together. All right, because white is such a light color. And if I'm doing blue-green here, but my partner is doing yellowish-orange over here, it's not going to work very well. So you got to work together. And if you can't work together, talk to me. I'll find some different paints, okay? So that you each have your, not each of you, but you're not sharing with 3 other people. You're maybe sharing with 1 other person. But try to make it work here. So see what happens? I already cleaned my brush, but I still got my white dirty. All right? And that's exactly what we're doing, is we're adding white to this to get a tint of blue-green. And then I'm going to paint it in this area. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with this? It's kind of what? No, it's actually not dark, but to me it's, any idea? It's too, when you say light, it's not necessarily light, but it's a little too thin. Can you see how it's kind of streaky, guys? All right, so I'm going to go over this with a couple of layers. Now that even helped a whole bunch right there when I went over it a second time. So my paint was just a little watery, not awful, but it could be better. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this, and then I'm going to pull up a little more paint just to make it a little neater and a little more solid and better looking. So there we go. Now I have my blue-green tint. And while I'm holding this up here, you can see I have this color right here, which is my green added with white, my yellow-green added with white, yellow-white, and you get the idea. I'm not done with this one. So I would add yellowish-orange and make white, mix with it, and add it there. All right, so I've got all except for 3 of these done. And again, this is your goal for today, is to get the 3rd layer, or the 3rd ring done. And that's it.